What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold. And today I had somebody on my AskFM page ask me if I did the 10 years, 10 questions thing. And I didn't even really know what that was. And so I looked on YouTube, and apparently it's this survey that this blog called, I think it's alternativeblog.com, is doing a survey for different WoW players for like the 10th anniversary, and some people did like videos of it. And so I figured I'd do the same thing since I kind of like the whole idea of it. And also, the reason I'm wearing this hoodie is that the logo, obviously have the logo on the screen here. The logo is the exact same almost as my Warcraft. Let me make sure I get this in the camera here. My Warcraft hoodie here, and I've had this since 2006. Like whenever I got whenever I bought this, and whenever I started playing, actually, it's the same year. And so I thought that was also pretty cool. And anyway, so I'll go ahead and I'll start with the 10 questions. And the first one is, why did you start playing Warcraft? Or, yeah, why did you start playing World of Warcraft? And honestly, guys, my buddy had just come back from the summer because like his dad lives up the street, and so whenever he was younger, he'd come here for the summer. And so anyway, so he had just showed up, and we had been playing Halo and all that other stuff. And so we didn't really, we were kind of bored of playing Halo, honestly. And so he saw that I had in my bookshelf, I had this little box, and it was a World of Warcraft. And I actually hadn't even played it at all. And the way this had happened is that during the school year before the summer, a guy in my computer class had actually sold me a World of Warcraft copy, and he had kind of like pushed it on me. I didn't really want to buy it, honestly. It was like for like 20 bucks, and so it was like a pushy drug dealer. And you know, I know how people think about Warcraft, and so it's kind of funny to think that way, because you know that's the way a lot of people think about the game. And so anyway, so he sees this game, and he's like, "What the fuck, dude? You have this game?" And I was like, "Yeah." I didn't really think much of it. He's like, "Dude, we need to play this." And like, so I was just like, okay. And so I watched a video on it, and I remember it was a mage, and I'll talk about this a little bit later. It was a mage soloing like a dragon, and like I saw this, I was like, this is it. This is it. This is the most badass fucking game ever. And so that was July 2006, and here we are, what is it? September? Yeah, that's the one. September 5th, 2014. And so it was definitely, you know, it's definitely been a ride. And the second question is, what was the first ever character that you rolled? And it was an undead mage. As I said, it was a mage because I saw that video of the guy soloing dragons. I was like, yo, this guy's already done the work for me. You know, why else do I need to even do anything? I already know what the best class is, obviously. And so I did undead because I've always liked like gothic shit, and like Wrath of the Lich King was my favorite expansion. You know, like everything's a skeleton or like a demon, and like all your armor has skulls on it, and like there's just all kinds of really awesome stuff. Everything's black, you know. And I've always really liked that. And also, I had them with the spiky hair too. And we pretty much just we just chose Horde because they had undead on it. There wasn't really any specific reason. And so the reason I actually picked my warrior, by the way, is that I went into a BG on my mage. Jeez, on my mage. And I saw this warrior, and it was a twink warrior, and obviously a twink warrior, level 19 twink warrior, is wrecking shit, right? And I was like level like 15 or something like that, and he two-shot me, and I figured I learned from that battleground. I was like, you know what? I've been wasting my time with this fucking mage. I gotta go play a warrior, because warriors kick ass. I had no idea like what twinking was or anything like that, and so I just thought that this was business as usual. This warrior's just fucking wrecking everybody, and this is just what happens whenever you play a warrior. And so actually, that's actually what happens to me whenever I play a warrior now, because I have very good gear. So it's funny how things turn out. But that's the first character I ever rolled. And let's see, what's the next one here? Which factors determine your faction choice in game? As I said before, I originally chose Horde because the undead were Horde, and I just thought that they were cool. I also really like the lore of the Horde, like Thrall and like Grom and just all that other stuff. The Alliance stuff never really interested me, honestly. And the only thing that really have ever been interested in terms of like Alliance lore was a little bit with like the Ronin thing and like Deathwing, and then also with Medivh and Uther, and a little bit with the Emerald Dream also. But I've mostly liked a lot of the Horde stuff, honestly. I think it's much more, you know, like World of Warcraft. And my buddy Zach, the reason we switched over to Alliance is he wanted to make a Paladin, and so Paladins were Alliance only then. If you guys don't remember, and so Alliance only had Paladins, and Horde had Shamans, and so he wanted to make a Paladin. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll make a warrior on Thrall server," and so that was how that happened. What has been was this the fourth question? Yeah, fourth question. What has been your most memorable moment in Warcraft and why? And honestly, guys, this is a very easy question for me to answer. It was getting immortal and before 3.1 and as during 3.0, and 3.1 was when Old War came out, and so it was before Old War. And the reason that this was such a big deal is that my old guild, Overdose, had gone like a huge, overgone like a huge like restructuring. Like the guild, we switched names because like our guild leader stopped logging on and we couldn't get the guild from him because you didn't have like the usurp guild leader thing back then. And so anyway, the story behind my old guild is that what happened was that our guild leader stopped logging on, but before that, this was during Burning Crusade. So like we were doing really, really, really well at the beginning of like Black Temple and leading up to that, the entire expansion, and also in vanilla also. But Reliquary of Souls was just like a real cock block, and the phase 2 was, I wasn't really raiding with them at that point, and so I didn't really know all the details, but apparently this like really kind of stopped them. Like they were on it for like 2 months, and so it was just really, really awful. And it just kind of really stopped their momentum. And even though they did kill Illidan pretty early, even before a lot of the other guilds on the server, any other guild except for one guild, and it was still, I mean, you could tell that everybody was pretty disheartened that things didn't really happen faster, and we lost a couple of really key players because of it. And so then going into Sunwell, we killed Kel'Thuzad really quickly, or not really quickly, but pretty quickly. And then we didn't kill Brutalis. And what really was like kind of the turning point, in terms of like a negative turning point, was that our rival guild, or not really a rival guild, honestly a guild that was like we weren't even aware of this guild's existence. They actually came and they killed Brutalis before we did. And so honestly, like the day after that, everybody was just like fucking pumped, ready to go big dick into Brutalis, and we did. We killed Brutalis pre-nerf, and it was awesome. The problem was we never killed Felmist, and we never finished Sunwell. And a lot of people quit, a lot of people lost disinterest, and a lot of people just stopped raiding before Wrath of the Lich King. And then 3.0 comes out. That's the patch right before Wrath of the Lich King. And that was what I was saying, the guild leader stopped logging on. And so another guy in my guild, Your Envy, he went and he took the... he kind of took control, or I don't know, like he stepped up to the plate and he made this new guild, and it was called Driven, and we kind of all migrated over to that guild. It was pretty much just a renaming of the old guild, honestly, except for like I think a couple people left, but it was pretty much just a renaming. And so Wrath of the Lich King comes out, and we're doing pretty well. We got the server first Malagos 10-man kill. And so that was like champion of the Frozen Wastes, and so like we were really proud of that, and that was great. But you know, we never really kind of, everybody on the server, like we were very well known on the server, and so everybody was really kind of curious as to, and like kind of not wanting us because we were all just complete fucking assholes. Like if anybody that's watching this thinks that I'm an asshole, like multiply my asshole level by about 10, and I was one of the nice guys in the guild. Okay, and so. Pretty much like everybody in the entire server hated us, or they didn't really hate us, but they just didn't like us. But they knew that we were very good players, but they still wanted to see us fail because of how much of a bunch of rude assholes we were. And so honestly, we go in there to next 25 man, and it was our first time. It's our first time doing Immortal, and if you guys don't remember, you guys probably don't because this was a very long time ago, you had to kill Instructor Resuvius first because he had the highest probability of having a death over the other three, I guess, wing bosses, first wing bosses. And so we actually wiped on Instructor Resuvius. We didn't wipe, but we had somebody die, and we were like, everybody was obviously like really disheartened at that point. They're like, you know, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. This is a waste of time. And we did a ready check, and to say who wants to keep going for Immortal and who doesn't. And so about 2 or 3 people said no, but everybody else said yes. And so we went out, we reset the instance. We didn't even know if this would work or not, but we reset the instance, re-cleared the trash, killed Resuvius, and we finished up the entire instance. And we were on KT, and we actually almost had our off tank die. And it was, you know, he went to like 20% health. It was like the the Guardians of Kel'Thuzad on him, and so like it was just a fucking like it was an asshole clinching moment, and we actually got immortal on our first try. And honestly, like whenever we had that happen, it was like kind of like the I guess like the realization of all of the work that we put into the game and all the work that we put into this new guild, and just everything that we really kind of everybody like really put their heart into this. And it was really amazing to see that, you know, maybe the guild is not dead, you know, maybe that it was you know, it was not quite our time to die. And it was really great. And, you know, obviously we killed that before that other guild, and that other guild never fucking got immortal, never got the Black Drakes. And so it was really, really great moment. And, you know, to have all of that, like, really hard work, and, you know, to have everybody doubting you and wanting you to fail, and then you still succeed, it was fucking great. And anyway, let's go to the next one. What has been your favorite aspect of the game, and has this always been the case? My favorite aspect has always been soloing different, I guess you could say, like bosses and like hard 5-man monsters. And the reason for that is, I said before, I watched a mage video, Fax Monkey. I think it was like Fax Monkey 2 or 3. And back then, people were not very inventive with their Warcraft titles or anything like that. And so he made this video soloing these different like 60 elites, and I just thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever. And so I always like to go, and like you guys know, I have all kinds of different soloing guides and stuff like that. And so it's really awesome to go back and do that, and now I can show you guys how to do that too. So it would definitely be like soloing difficult bosses, like meant for, you know, entire raids or you know, groups, or like, you know, more than one person, and doing it by myself. And let's see, what's the next one here? Do you have an area in game that you always return to? I think it's raiding. Like for me, PvP, I enjoy PvP, but to me, like raiding is really kind of what makes this game special. And I would say that raiding is definitely what I will always come back to. Even if I stop raiding seriously, I will always be doing like little 10-man raids or whatever I can get into, just so I can get in there. And I just like the whole aspect of the social aspect. You know, you have different people. Like you have people who are just like 14-year-old, you know, fat kids, and you have other people who are like millionaires or something like that. And then, I mean, there are all kinds of like, just the difference in people that play World of Warcraft is absolutely amazing. And so I think that's really cool to see all of those people come together and to just, you know, unite and just I don't know, like, you know, kill a dragon. You know, pretty much everybody comes together to kill a dragon, and I just think that is just the coolest shit ever. And so let's see, what's the next question? How long have you /played, and that has that been continuous? I've played continuously pretty much since the day I started. I've taken, I guess you could say, 2.5 to 3 breaks. I took a break for Diablo 3. I took a break for Path of Exile, and I took a break for Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, as you guys know, because I was doing my channel at that point. I really do like Reaper of Souls and Diablo, but I don't really know if I'll be doing the seasons. But that's just a very minor side point. I never really stopped playing Warcraft at that point. I just started playing the other games a lot more than Warcraft. I never really quit the game, never really unsubscribed or anything. And so there hasn't really been ever a time where I really stopped playing. I would say my /played is somewhere between 750 to 800 days. And so that's a lot. About, I'd say really, guys, like especially recently, like over half of my time is AFK, right? But that's still over a year, right? So I play all the fucking time. So let's go to the next question. Admit it, do you read quest text or not? Now, I really don't, honestly. I don't really care about the Pandaria storyline. It's just not as important to me, I guess you could say. And back in the day, though, like I remember whenever I did War Master, I totally read every single quest. I went through everything, and I really enjoyed doing it. You know, I turned on the game music, and, you know, all that stuff, just sat here in my World of Warcraft hoodie and just nerded the fuck out, and I loved it. It was awesome. But I have not really been as invested in the Miss Pandaria, I guess you could say, like storyline and things like that. I've been meaning to read like the Burdens of Shaohao, because everybody says it's really good, but I haven't really spent a lot of time looking at it. But anyway, so I don't really read it anymore, but I used to read it all the time. And honestly, guys, before I played World of Warcraft, I think I said this in another video, I don't know if I did or not, but whenever I played, I actually thought about being on an RP realm, because I know so much about the war and all that. I mean, like, I'm not, I probably don't know as much as, like, probably somebody who like makes the war videos. I think it's like Novel makes the war videos. I'm almost certain I don't know as much as he does, but I do know a lot. I know a hell of a lot more than the average player. And so before Warcraft, I played Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft. I played Warcraft 3, and I played Warcraft 2 before that. And you gotta remember, like I was like 7 years old back then, and so like this has been like kind of I'm invested in this, and like I remember I was in 6th grade, and I had my laptop back then because we had a laptop, and I was playing Warcraft 3, and I remember it was the night. It was at night, and I played like the mission where Arthas kicks Uther out of the Order of Paladins because Uther didn't want to purge the city of Stratholme. And man, I was bummed the fuck out. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. I went to bed and I was bummed out. I went to school the next day, 6th grade. I was having a bad day because Uther got kicked out of the Silver Hand. Like, that was just, God, that was heartbreaking. And I didn't even really understand. Like, Arthas was right. Arthas was right. But at the same time, it was definitely very it was traumatic. It was very traumatic. And so I've also read a lot of the Warcraft books as well. Do I have any regrets from your time? Or sorry, this is the next question. Are there any regrets from your time in game? I don't really have any regrets. I have one regret is that I didn't start playing earlier, and the reason for that is I could have gotten Grand Marshal. And basically, back in the day, I get home from school because like I would know whenever AV weekend would happen because it was like it was like no AB, Warsong Gulch, and then AV. Like I remember there was like some sort of order, and so I would actually know ahead of time what weekend AV weekend would fall under for like 2 months in advance. Like I would know each and every single one, so I could plan out, like all of my activities around this AV weekend. And I get dropped off from the bus down the street, and I remember like AV weekend, Friday AV weekend, I'd be doing a fucking little fast jog up to my house to get in on that, and I would play. Like I'd have some of my friends come over, my two friends Cody and Jeff, and some other people too, like Zach, maybe Cameron, and they'd all come over, and we would take turns playing AV, right? And so even at night. And so I go to bed, and I'd be thinking, because Jeff would always be the one who would stay up all night. And so I'd be thinking, it's like, all right, man, Jeff, how much honor did you get me? And like I would give him gold or like whatever else in return, like buy him food or whatever. And I'd come back, and I'd be in Scarlet Monastery dead, and there'd be a bunch of porn on my computer, and I'd have 3 viruses. So that was kind of fucking annoying. But I did, they said on the Blizzard website, they said that you can't do 2 officer ranks in 1 week. Yeah, you fucking can. I did that. I did like, I don't remember what 2 officer ranks it was actually, but I went up 2 officer ranks in 1 week because I played so much. And so that was really a lot of fun. Like my character would like never even go offline for 72 hours during AV weekend. And so it was really a lot of fun. And so we're going to go on to, no, this is the last question. This is what effects has Warcraft had on your life outside gaming? Now, people might say Warcraft is a waste of time. Now, before Warcraft, I played Halo 2. Before Halo 2, I played Halo 1. Before Halo 1, I spent all day playing Mario. Okay? So, wasting my time on video games is nothing new. Alright? So, this is not even like, oh, I would be out doing something else. No, I'd just be playing another game. Pretty much. And so, honestly, like, one of the things that, this is kind of a thing with me, and I've never really heard anybody say this before, is that, like, whenever I was in high school, I was just, like, the typical, like, 16-year-old high school I was just a fucking loser. Like, honestly, like, let's be real here. Like, I had mediocre grades, no job, no girlfriend, no real prospects after, not, like, really looking at college or whatever. And so, that kind of changed a little bit whenever I went in the Burning Crusade, and, I became a successful player, and then a successful officer, and then a successful raid leader in my guild. And from, I went from having people, like, call me, like, a faggot and, like, loser or whatever, to, like, complimenting me and, like, saying, you've been working, this is, like, your character's really great, you're doing a lot of DPS, you're a great leader, and so all this other stuff. And so I went from kind of, like, taking orders from, like, people, I guess, like, my teachers, and I was, like, and then I went from that, I went to this game, and I was really good at Warcraft, and I would actually be giving orders to people who were like, as old as my teachers. And whenever they followed those orders, we were successful. And to me, it really kind of gave me a lot of self-confidence, I guess you could say. because before then, you never really get an experience like that. And honestly, I'd say like the experience I had with World of Warcraft and kind of like I guess like knowing your own potential and all that stuff, it's pretty unique. I've never really I don't really know what else would really give that. Like sports don't really give that. Like you can't really have that happen in a job really because you're always like low man on the totem pole, like working at McDonald's or something like that if you're 16, unless it's some kind of an anomaly. And so it was like really a huge confidence booster, and it gave me some perspective on who I am and who I can be. And another thing obviously is with the channel. And about 9 months ago I was ready to go to business school, and I'm actually going now. But I was ready, and I had been accepted. And what happened is my mom got sick, and so I felt that I kind of had to stay home and help her, and like I guess like take care of her, but also just kind of help her around the house and all that stuff. And so I decided at that point that I would take that time and I would really do what a lot of people had been asking me to do at that point, is to start making videos, like take it seriously. And so, as you guys may know, I used to have my old channel, Zach Rar, and I mean, like, let's be honest, guys, like all the videos on that channel are fucking terrible. And so even I mean, admittedly, like I have some videos that are on my Asmongold virtual exchange channel, and they're pretty shitty too. But some of my earlier ones, and so I look back at that, and but now I think I always try to make better and better videos, and so obviously that's been one of the really big I guess like effects that it's had on me, because without that I would have never really made that. Without World of Warcraft, I would never have really made this big channel. And as you guys know, just last week or so, a few days ago, I did my video for 10,000 subscribers, and so it's really been cool. And I wouldn't really be here, I guess you could say, without playing World of Warcraft and taking it seriously. And so it's really great to kind of have my efforts at the game and all that stuff kind of validated. And let's see. Well, like I am in business school now, and my mom is better. I mean, she's not like super well or anything like that, but she's definitely a lot better. And I've also, honestly, guys, I've learned a lot of like business sense and like real life stuff by playing the game and interacting with people, especially with the channel, like in terms of marketing. I market the channel, honestly, with like everything that I do with it to promote it. And so it's given me a lot of like real life business and marketing insights, and it helps me with school, and it gives me a different perspective on how to look at my classwork and all that. And so it's had a lot of effects on me. I mean, obviously it's not all positive, and it's definitely not all negative either. And so I figured I'd give my 10 answers, because I thought this was a cool little idea that whoever, what was it? Fuck, I forgot again. Alternative Blog did. And so I figured I would kind of do my video for this. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed. You guys can fill out the thing too. I'll try and put a link in the description so you guys can take a look at it. But anyway, as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And that's pretty much all I got. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.